My boyfriend said the changes I have made to be an early owl, to have more productive days and be healthier, make me incredibly boring as a person, and he doesn't think he's compatible with someone like me, and I don't know what to do because I don't want him to break up with me over something like this. Posted by you/conversation 162020. Sorry for the length, and if this is a bit all over the place, I wasn't sure what information was relevant. My boyfriend Tom, 21M, and I, 21F, have been together since we were 17, and right now we live together with my dad. I've recently been trying to sort out my sleep schedule so that on the days when I work, it's easier for me to get out of bed and I can get up early enough to cycle to work. On weekdays, I normally get up at around 5. If I'm working, I will leave at 6, and on my days off I will go for a walk and do some exercise. In the evenings, I try to have a shower and get ready for bed around 9 p.m. so I can go to bed by 9:30 p.m. I enjoy doing this as it makes me feel more rested, more productive, and generally healthier. He is a night owl and doesn't go to bed until anywhere between 2:30 and 4 a.m. every night. This means he doesn't wake up until 10 a.m. at the earliest. His sleeping habits don't bother me, and while it would be nice to go to bed together, I'm happy with the way things are. Especially as we both only work 2 or 3 days a week, so this leaves us with plenty of time to spend together during the week. If his sleeping pattern is working for him, that's all that matters. I don't think it's my place to try and change it. He, however, does have a habit of making me feel bad when I tell him I'm going to bed. We have a large room to ourselves, and all our consoles, his computer, our TV, etc. are in our bedroom. I ask him to go upstairs, there's another TV and he keeps his laptop up there too, for half an hour while I try to sleep. After I'm asleep, he can come back downstairs and game or do whatever, as long as he leaves the main lights off and keeps the sound off. Normally, when I ask him to do this, he will sulk. Last night, he told me he doesn't think he can be with someone like this, and that sleeping like this has made me incredibly boring. I would happily compromise with him and stay up later on the weekends to go out or stay in and spend time together, but he works Friday and Saturday nights until 12 or 1 a.m. Actually, I do stay up that late anyway because he doesn't drive, and so I drop him to work and pick him up. Whenever we get back after his shift, he still asks me to stay up with him. Last weekend, I thought we reached a good solution for the nights he works. I said I would cook for him so when he came back, he didn't have to spend time making food, and we could watch an episode of a TV show before I go to bed. That's all I can do before I can't stay up any longer. He seemed happy with that solution, but we haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if that'll work. I don't know what to do. He really seems angry at me, and I don't know why. I don't think it's asking a lot for him to leave our room while I'm trying to sleep, and the only couple days I would be willing to stay up later he's already working. I don't think this is something to break up over, because I feel that eventually we will both have jobs that are more similar in ours. But I don't know what else I can do to make him happy with our current situation. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Is he living with you at your dad's house for free? You said you drive him everywhere? Does he contribute anything to this situation, or does he just use you for basically everything and then complain about it? Op's response. We both pay $50 per week each. The driving issue is something that really bothers me, and no matter how much I ask him to learn, he doesn't seem to care. Commenter 2. I know that driving wasn't the main issue you're looking for advice on, but seriously, if you're the one who has to drive him everywhere, it's not really his choice to not care. You should tell him straight up that you're willing to teach him, and as long as he's making strides towards learning how to drive and getting his license, you'll keep driving him to and from work until he can drive himself. But if he doesn't care and puts no effort into learning how to drive, you'll stop being his chauffeur. If he works that late, it sounds like he probably doesn't have another option. Unless you live in a big city, public transit usually doesn't run that late in my experience. Taking a taxi or Uber would be crazy expensive in the long run. Stop allowing him to be apathetic. Op's response. I have told him that before. I know it takes time to learn how to drive. Where we are, you need to log 100 hours before taking a practical exam, and to be honest, I was really slow to get my license. But his learner's permit expires in November, and he's nowhere near being done. Anyway, I tell him I won't drive him, but I can't really make him walk home that late in the evening. I feel too bad. Op adds an edit to her post. I talked to him this afternoon when he woke up, and he seemed to not want to fight about the sleeping thing anymore, so that's good, I guess? Regardless, this post got way more attention than I expected, and there are a few people who think he's taking advantage of me. He earns more than I do, so it's not like he is using me for money. With regard to driving, he either goes with his stepdad, who works odd hours, or my dad, and we've just had a family death, so he feels bad asking my dad right now. Also, I think if I flat out refuse to drive him to work, he will start saying he never wanted a manual car, and that's why it's taking him so long to learn. Anyway, we both need to grow up. I've tried talking to him previously about his goals and future plans, but he never really has anything to say. Any tips for talking to him about this? I worry he'll start thinking of me as some kind of killjoy, nagging girlfriend if I push it too hard. I don't know. Update 2.5 years later. So my original post is years old now, and I wouldn't say it was that popular. I was looking at my post history and can't believe I posted that. It seems like a lifetime ago. I was completely oblivious to all the problems in our relationship, and I refused to leave Tom even though it was very clearly the right thing to do. I broke up with him maybe 6 months after I posted, but we got back together, even though I was moving to another country to teach English for a few months. While I was away, he hardly ever spoke to me, never asked me how I was, and grew increasingly disrespectful to me. I came back home early because I felt bad leaving him for so long. We had plans to move overseas together, but he was getting cold feet, saying he didn't want to leave his best friend. I broke up with him again and decided to move overseas by myself. It was terrifying to be alone after being with Tom for so long, but it was 100% the right decision. Turns out he had started sleeping with his best friend while I was overseas teaching English. Also, turns out I'm a lesbian, so there's that. Tom still lives at my dad's place and works the same job. I've just bought my first flat, and I'm having a wonderful time living overseas and being truly independent. I have grown so much in the last few years and done things I could never imagine doing while I was stuck in a dead-end relationship. I know now that being alone is so much better than being with someone who doesn't love you. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. So proud of you. All of that, plus moving to a different country? That's really great, and I hope you're much happier now. Ops response. Thanks so much. It was scary at first to be alone and really daunting to move countries by myself when that was something we'd always planned together. But I feel immeasurably happier now. Commenter 2. Congrats. Don't you think it's a bit odd that he still lives with your dad? Ops response. Thanks. It's definitely a bit weird. Things ended really badly between me and him, and I asked my dad to get Tom to move out, but he wouldn't do it. He does pay more rent now, so I guess my dad doesn't want to give that up. It was disappointing at the time that my dad didn't stick up for me, I guess, but I'm over that now. I'm just happy to be living my life for me now. Commenter 3. Good for you. It's weird on Tom's part that he would even want to live there. If someone broke up with me, it would kill me to live in their parents' house where we used to live together. It sounds like you have a lot more going for you than he does. Ops response. Yeah, it's very strange. When we broke up at first, it was really amicable, and I said we could both continue to stay there since I was moving away, and I thought it was kind to give him time to find a new place and all that. But things turned to crap after I found out he was sleeping with his best friend while we were together. I moved into my mom's place because I couldn't stand to be around him, but he just stayed at my dad's the whole time. He even said he felt so bad about hurting me, not bad enough to move out, though. I probably sound quite bitter about it still, but it doesn't cross my mind that often. It would just be nice to understand why he thinks it's a normal thing to do.